Hey, welcome back. Alright, so far we only have two routes for screams, one that gets all the screams and one that posts a scream. Let's add a route for getting one scream and getting all the details that are pertaining to that one scream. So let's do that. Alright, first of all, I don't know why I did this. Like, these three user routes should be grouped with the user routes like this. And let me remove this white space. Alright, let's write this route. So this will be a post, of course. So a get a get at slash. So this is a URL that would need the scream ID that we need to because this is the only way of sending data through a get request is in the URL parameters. So we'll do /scream / scream ID. This colon will tell our application that this is a route parameter and we can access its value. And of course it's not protected because we want in our application to allow users to view screams and comments and all this stuff even when they're not logged in, like Twitter, because this is kind of a Twitter clone. Alright, so the function will be called getScream. And let's actually I want to write all the other routes as a to-do so that you'll have an idea of what we're gonna actually be creating later. So we're gonna have a route for deleting, so delete scream, and we're gonna have to-do. Let me copy this to-do so I don't have to type it again. Like a scream, scream. And we're gonna have another one for unliking a scream. We're gonna have a comment on scream, and I believe this is what we're gonna do next because it's the one that makes sense the most. Alright, so we have a route for getting one scream, but before we do that I want to add some dummy data. I want to add a collection, a comments collection, which holds exactly that. And before I add the document, I want to copy something and paste it. I don't want to type it and waste time on it because you might not want to type it. I'm gonna paste it right here. So these are the how our comments are stored in our database. So they have a user handle so that we will know who submitted this comment, and they have a scream ID, and that refers to which scream they pertain to. So when we grab a scream, we grab its comment by this scream ID property, and they have a body of what the comment says, and of course they have a created at of when they were actually created. All right, I believe maybe later they will hold an image URL as well of their user, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. All right, so let's create a comment like this. So what we need is four things: a user handle, a scream ID, a body, and a created at. So a scream ID we'll get from this one scream. So copy this, and then let's create the collection again. It's gonna have an auto ID, a field of scream ID, that scream ID, a user handle. We only have one user right now, or at least because I deleted the other users. A body, which will say nice scream man, and exclamation marks, or ape I suppose makes more sense, and a created at, which will be a string. And let me copy this date from here. Cool. All right, so let's save. There we go. We have a comment that is attached to this scream. I mean, it's not attached because this is a document-based collection, but we will make it so. So let's go to our screams. Actually, let's go back to index. We need to import this, copy this, get scream, and add it to here. And let's save all files. Go to screams.js and let's create this get scream function. So exports dot get scream equals, takes a request, a response, arrow function to let's declare a variable scream data. It's an empty object, and let's do db.document doc and the backticks and do /screams / curly braces to access a variable request.params for parameters dot scream ID, like this. Get And of course this returns a promise, and this will hold a document. So let's do another check as well. So let's do if not doc.exists, which is a boolean that tells us whether this document exists or not. We'll here stop and return res.status of 404, which stands for not found, JSON with an error of scream not found, in case someone sends a request to /scream/ an ID that doesn't exist anymore. Alright, so else we just add this data. Well, we don't need to do an else because it's inferred already. So let's do scream data equals document.data as a function, and then now we want to add the ID of the scream to the data because we're gonna need it later. So let's do scream data dot scream ID equals doc.id. Alright, so now we need to fetch the comments of this scream as well. So let's do return db.collection comments where scream ID equals the request.params.scream ID .get. So this returns a promise, so we do another then here, .then, and we get a query snapshot because this can be multiple documents. So let's initialize, let's say scream data.comments equals an empty array, and let's do data.for each document, and let's do scream data.push, and we push doc.data, and we don't need the IDs of the comments. So after here, so our comments are already there, so we just need to return this data. So let's do return scream, no, not scream data, res.json, no, without curly braces, just scream data like this because it's already a JSON. And of course .catch, and response.status 500.json error.code. Alright, I think this is it for this function. Alright, let's test if this is working. So I'm already running Firebase serve. If you're not, take the time to run it. And let's go to Postman and test this out. Okay, so this is gonna be /scream/a scream ID, and let's go to our database and grab this scream ID right here, paste it, and it's a GET request with no headers. Even though if you have headers, it doesn't affect it. So let's just send it, and it's loading. Internal server error. Interesting. Scream data.push is not a function. Oh, it's because scream data.comments.push. Oops, because comments is the array, scream data is an object. All right, let's try again. Cool, we get our data. And what we need to do though, because right now we have only one comment, so this problem doesn't appear. But if we'd have multiple comments right here, it's gonna sort them differently. Actually, I'm not sure what it sorts them by, but we need it to sort them by created at, because we want to show the latest one first. So let's go here. Let me close the console. And here, after we fetch our comments, after the collection thing, we say order, not like this, order. How do you spell order? By, and it's by created at, and in a descending order. So let's save and run the query again. Well, of course, we're not going to see any difference because it's just one comment, and we get an internal server error. Oh, I know why. It's because Firebase, when you have a complex Firebase query, you need to create an index for it. But usually it gives us a URL, but for some reason this URL is formatted in a very funny way. Let's try again and see if the response, like the console log, is actually formatted properly here. All right, so this is the URL. You're gonna get as well a URL. It says, it's gonna say the query requires an index. You can create it here. So you just click this, control click from the console so that it opens it on the browser. And what's cool about Firebase, the index is already ready for us to be created. However, this doesn't show anything for some reason. Let's go to indexes again. Okay. Let's copy and paste this. All right, we click create index. And this is gonna take a couple of minutes, so I'll be back once it's done. Okay, now that our index has been created, we can actually send this request again, and it should show us the data. And it does. And now even if we add another comment, actually let's add another comment just to show that it works. So let's go to our comments and let's do, add a comment. And what fields do we have? We have a user handle, the same user, and we have a body, say another comment, and we have a created at. Let me copy that date from that file right here, and I'm gonna add one day instead of the 15th of March. It's gonna be the 16th of March. And we're gonna have another field of Scream ID. I'm gonna copy it from here and submit that and send the query again. We get 2 comments, and the latest one is this one. We get it first. Cool. All right, so let's create a route for actually submitting comments without having, to create them on Firebase manually. So let's go to index. Instead of this to-do comment, let's do app.post at /scream colon scream ID /comment. And this will be a protected route. So let's add the auth middleware, and this will say comment on Scream. Let's copy comment on Scream. Let's go to here, add it, and let's go and create it. So here at the bottom, let's add a comment here saying or get or fetch, prefer fetch 1 Scream. Fetch makes it sound like the code is my like the code works for me, which makes more sense because it does. All right, so exports, I don't know, comment on Scream equals request response. And here what we need to do is we need to validate the body, but we only have one field, so we don't create a function for it. We just say request dot if request dot body again, because the property is called body dot trim the equals an empty string. That means the user sent empty data. So let's do on the same line return res dot status 400 with a JSON error and say comment must not be empty, or actually it just must not be empty because the input will already say comment on it. So if we say comment again, it doesn't make sense. Otherwise, let's do const. Let's create this comment object that we're going to persist to our database. New comment equals object. The body of the comment is request dot body. The created at is a new date to ISO string. The scream ID is request.params.scream ID. The user handle we get from our request.user object that's passed through our middleware, so the handle of course. And actually we do need to store the user image, because what we want to do later when we fetch the comments, we don't want to fetch the comments and then depending on that comment as well fetch depending on the user handle of the comment as well fetch the profile image of the user. So let's do here user image, add something called user image, and this will be request.user.image URL. Now we haven't added this yet, but we can. So let's go to our util. What's cool about this, because we've already sent a request to the database, so we already have all the properties of the user. So here we can just add another one called request.user.image URL equals data.docs 0 data, the function, image URL. All right. Yeah, we're done here. Let's go back. So here we have the user image stored with the comment. So let's persist this. What do we do actually? Oh, we need to actually confirm that the scream exists, because this scream might not exist anymore. So let's do db.doc backticks / screams / thing curly braces request.params.scream ID to get this scream .get .then doc, because this is db.doc, so it has to return one document. So let's say if not .exists. So if it doesn't exist, we return res.status 404, because we don't want users submitting comments to IDs that don't exist anymore, and then we'll have to like persist comments with scream IDs that don't exist anymore. So we just say here, if the scream doesn't exist, we say scream not found, and then if we pass this if and nothing happens, not pass it as in if it's not triggered, then we just do db.collection, and it will be the collection of comments. Now we add our comment. So .add, which I believe we haven't used yet, this is the function that you use to add a document, and you pass it a JSON, and in this case our JSON is already created. So we copy that and we add our new comment object, and here we do .then. This returns a write result, I think. No, actually a document reference, but we don't need it anyway. If we come to this then block, that means the document was created successfully. So we just say res. We actually need to return it, res.json new comment. We return our comment back to the user because they need to add it on the user interface. Of course, here we do .catch error and console.log res, not release event, res.status 500 JSON error.code, or oh, oops, actually, what am I doing? This could happen a lot, so we could just say error We'll just say something, the classic something went wrong. Okay, so let's save all files. And now let's go to Postman. So we have this scream ID. We do /scream /scream ID /comment. And before we do that, we need to actually log in. Let's copy all of this. So open a new tab. Send a post request with the body of type application JSON. And let's log in. So email will be user@email.com or whatever user you have on your database. Password will be the password we set for it. What 404 not found? Oh, oops, /login. Let's get the token. So here, let's do bearer token. And by the way, that request we did earlier to get the screen was not a protected one. Just to prove to you, let's send a get request without the authorization header. We still get the screen because it's not protected. So here /comment, and we put the token, and in the body we have, if you remember, we have only one property of body, and this will be comment number 3. Let's send, oh, not a get, post, send, scream not found. Really? Let me make sure I got the right ID. I did. Scream not found. Oh, what am I doing? Scream ID, not screams. Okay, let's try again. Something went wrong. Let's check the error log. Line number 96. Return db.collection comment add new comment. What's wrong with that? Okay, so after console login, the comment, the object that I created, turned out that the user image was undefined for me. You probably didn't have this error because when I signed up this user, I hadn't implemented the image URL logic at that time. So let's just add image URL here, or let me just add this and add the link to the no image, and this should fix the problem. Yeah, okay. So now image URL would not be undefined. Cool. Because when I was trying that, one of the keys had the undefined value, which is not allowed by Firebase. All right, so the comment is submitted now, and I get the comment back with the user image, which we'll use to display on the comment in the front end. And if we go to our comments collection, we see that we get comment number 3, cool, with the user image. All right, so this is it for comments and fetching the one scream. In the next video, we're gonna be working on liking and unliking screams. So look forward to that one. Bye.